best wrestling podcast in the world. Fact, the road-wearing original Pete, the believing, power of positivity, keeping it Rollins, the Summit. Fact, the homicidal, the genocidal, the ECW loving, daring young creeping, Mr. No Days Off, Scott. Fact, the biscuit and gravy eating, Naomi loving, lunatic craving, the melting pot, JP, and you can bank on that. Fact, the Bailey hugging, the interrupting, the Jaeger drinking, mouth of the Carolinas, Lil Steven. Fact.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I miss you, Darren Young. Little Steven, Darren Young, in a evening gown match with Pat Patterson. Little Steven gets a little French-Canadian in him. If Jeff Hardy's going to face Jay Leno in a steel chairs match, people are just jealous because I got skill.
Here's my issue. Is it worse to get beat by one midget or three? Little Steven in a beer drinking contest with Naomi. I have this big issue with people. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Just kept it Rollins. Jimmy Hart, Triple X-Pac against Lil Steven in a microphone on a pole match. Anything can happen. Lightweight. If you don't want it, then don't bark it.
We're three-man band. That's horrible. I don't want to make you look bad.
You're fired, sir. When you want to hear me mess up, they're in Radio Land. When you want to hear me not mess up, I did not know that. Wow. Wrestling with attitude. When you want your beer, awesome.
Welcome to Wrestling with Attitude on Spreaker, iTunes, and Stitcher.
Yeah.
And you're watching us live on Periscope once again today.
What is up, Periscope?
I am the Summit.
You're not a double.
I'm the M double T double Summit. What?
Oh, I get it.
M double T double Summit?
No.
Yeah. No. Come on, if Jeff Jarrett can pull it off, I can.
You just called him JJ. Don't you ever call him JJ.
He is JJ.
There's only one JJ in wrestling, and that is JJ Dillon. All right, there is only one JJ.
Okay.
The greatest manager in WCW history, not WWF, I'm sorry. But it's true.
Oh, he's pretty good. I don't know about the best. That might be up
really?
For debate. Ooh. That might be up for debate.
That is a good debate.
Paul Ellering.
Ooh.
Just
Wait,
saying.
Paul Ellering over...
Yeah, Paul Ellering.
The Brain?
Road Warriors. Yeah, the Brain. The Brain really wasn't. He was WWF.
Yeah. Okay, if we're talking WCW.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Paul Ellering maybe, but that's more NWA even. Paul E. Dangerously.
Yeah.
You know, Paul E. was pretty freaking good.
And he had a really small time in WCW, though.
Sonny Oko.
Oh, God. No, I don't know about Sonny Oko. I wouldn't put him in the same boat.
No, but he's. I mean, I'm naming managers they had. I mean, you never know. Harvey Wolfman, that was WWF. Yeah, Sonny Oko, man. You don't like Sonny Oko?
I mean, like, I get why he was in WCW, because, I mean, I'm still watching Nitro, and he was in there, like, from 96 to 98. And
he's still watching Nitro?
Yeah.
Still on WWE Network for $9.95?
$9.99.
Oh, I thought
I don't get it for $95 where I'm at.
Well, there's certain areas of the country you get it a little bit cheaper. It depends on your rate of watching it.
Yeah, well, I guess mine's like the highest rate. So
right. So yeah, but we got a great show today. I'm glad. Besides Sonny Oko, we got some great news.
Sonny Oko.
Yeah, Sonny, man, the best Sonny they ever had.
The best one they ever had, yeah. Not the best WWE ever had.
I don't know. Is she even there? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we got a great show. We got SoundOff. We got Raw review. We got a great show.
Yeah.
You ready to get into it?
Dude, let's go.
Whoa, you're going double. What are you doing? Going Dutch?
Well, it's double A.
It's a double here. Wow, that was freaky.
Hold on.
Echo.
I'm still hearing an echo.
Are you hearing an echo?
A little. Echo.
You good? Sounds better.
A little better, yeah.
All right. So, anyway, before that tragic response just went down, let's see if the music works this time. Oh, there's the echo again.
Wait, I like that.
You like hear me double?
Hold on. Just play it. Just put it on there. No, you don't have to play anything. Just put it up.
Put what up?
WWA SoundOff. Oh, it doesn't do it anymore.
I know why.
It was so cool.
I know why. You want to try it again? I know why it did it.
I didn't do it.
Here, go ahead.
All right. I don't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let's get into the show.
Because that was cool. All right.
I'm glad you thought that was cool.
WWA SoundOff, where your voice can be heard.
Sound off, let them know how you feel. If the anger inside is real. Sound off.
I'm going to say this one time, Serena. Stop messing with the board as we're going through the show. All right. That's our intern, Serena.
You know, I keep forgetting our interns' names. Yeah. I think it was once Jose, Ashley, Stephanie.
And they have all gone to great careers in the broadcast industry.
And we'll do a show on that one day.
By the way, you can apply to be an intern at WWA Show. Just tweet us.
Yeah.
WWA Show.
By tweet us, tweet him.
That's right. Tweet me. Let me know your resume. We'll see what we can do.
Let me know your resume. Yeah.
But anyway, SoundOff, in case you don't know what SoundOff is a top 5 we do every week on this show. This week, the top 5 is top 5 WrestleMania buildups of all time, which that means Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. You know, start at the Rumble. It can go through Fastlane, Elimination Chamber, whatever, up until the Rumble. Because that's usually the end of the year. With WrestleMania coming up, we want to do top 5 build-ups of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Cool.
So, did you want to go first?
Sure. I'll start with my first one here. Number 5. I'm going to put CM Punk and Undertaker on there. And here's my thing, is because I love the promos. And I know it was more CM Punk than Undertaker, but it's just the promos were so good. Especially what happened at that time. We lost in the wrestling world. We lost Paul Bearer at that exact moment. And CM Punk kind of took it a little too far. But it was good promos. I liked it. I thought, you know, I just wish the match would have ended differently. But other than that, I just think the build-up, like, it made me want to watch the match. So that's why I put it up there. It did. I mean, the promos were great for its time. I mean, you know, with the direction CM Punk was going in, I felt it was good for what he was doing.
Okay.
So
that's your number 5?
Yeah.
For me, it would be WrestleMania 15, Austin and The Rock build up. Of course, you get the beer bath. You had the Corporation versus The Rock. I kind of wanted to put this higher, but there's the 4 other ones are so good that I've got on my list.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it above it.
Well, I'm just going to jump in here because that was my number 4. Was that one? I mean, yeah, I think the thing that made it the best was the whole Corporation and everything else that just, there were so many things that went into that one match. And, like, I mean, from Royal Rumble all the way to WrestleMania, it was just a fun time to watch. And it was, oh, wait, no, that was the year before. But, you know, that's when the ratings were really good at that time with the Monday Night Wars, and that's where WWE kind of, you know, started, you know, getting the reins, so to speak.
Did you keep it Rollins?
No, I didn't keep it Rollins.
Right.
I don't have an Ambrose one. We need to make an Ambrose one. I don't have one.
You ain't got no lunatic on the fringe?
No.
Or
I can't use that.
Why not?
Where am I going to put that in there?
Easy. You could say, you know, you got a lunatic on the fringe.
Yeah, because that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
Whatever.
All right, what's your number? Oh, you say your number 4.
Yeah, what's yours?
Number 4 for me is WrestleMania 28, The Undertaker and Triple H.
Okay.
This was the first time the two of them fought. Yeah. No, it was second. No, I know. I got it. Thank you. It was the second time. The first time I was actually at WrestleMania 27. And I want to say that was... The second one was better to me. the build-up. And here's why. They didn't say much. What?
Well, first off, JoJo's here.
What's up, Joe?
And JoJo said Stone Cold and The Rock 3.
So WrestleMania 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give that one.
No, there's so many good ones over the years.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's the reason I want to do a top 5 of this, is because I knew it would be different.
Yeah.
Most of them would be different because it's so tough to narrow the top 5 down. Mm-hmm. But this one with Undertaker and Triple H, the reason I liked it so much, they didn't talk a lot. Not until a couple weeks before WrestleMania. When it started, Undertaker came out, interrupted Triple H. Didn't say a word and left. The next week, Triple H did it. Walked away, came out, walked away, and left. And the build-up was so good. And then you add Shawn Michaels into the mix because it was in the Hell in a Cell, the end of an era match, which if they're doing another Hell in a Cell match with Shane McMahon versus Undertaker, is that another end of an era?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering because I thought, okay. Anyway.
You're right, though.
It's in. But anyway, that was my number 4. What's your number 3?
Okay. No, I mean, I like that one. I mean, that one was probably
better.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Triple H and Undertaker when he was still not in his prime, but, you know. My number 3 would have, I'm going to put Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania 5. I'm putting that one on there because, I mean, we talked about it before, but.
I didn't talk about it before.
Well, no, I mean, the one thing I like about this one is because with them too, I mean, this is a build-up that built up for a whole year, as the Melting Pot said when I was talking to him about it earlier. But it built up for a whole year, and I think it's, I mean, I want to say one of the only ones, other than maybe another recent WrestleMania build-up, that did that. You know, where it was almost a whole year that it built up. So, I mean, and for such a long time ago, I have to give it credit.
No, it should be up there. And I'll talk about it because it's on mine. Number 3 for me, WrestleMania 25. What?
Oh, I don't know. JoJo, I didn't see it. Sorry. If you want to replay that, let me know.
Replay it? Send the chat in again?
Resend.
Triple H, Randy Orton, WrestleMania 26. Or WrestleMania 25. I'm putting a number 3 in. I don't care. Dude, I got to put this in there with it. But Triple H and Orton, dude, this was one of the best build-ups that was ever done. I mean, Randy Orton, he punted Stephanie and Vince on the way to WrestleMania. So it was real personal. You know, it was great. We had Triple H attack Orton. It was a great build-up. And the match was good at WrestleMania. It was great at WrestleMania. I'm going to add this one in there. WrestleMania 26. Shawn Michaels' Undertaker. All right, this was the street versus the career. It was the second one. It was when Shawn Michaels comes out in all white, the first time, which was great.
It was.
By the way, somebody else came out in all white at Night of Champions, and that was Seth Rollins. And he looked great. So, and he won the match. But, yeah, I'm just kidding. I know. Shawn and Undertaker, the build-up was so great in this match. Of course, you had Shawn Michaels interrupt, many matches of Undertaker during this run. I had to put that in there, too.
Of course. Light versus dark, as they like to call it. The light versus the dark.
As you just said, shh. What's number 2?
All right, I'm going back for number 2. I'm going with the Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 3.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going with this, I've watched all these documentaries, especially the real story of WrestleMania or whatever that's on the network. Great documentary, by the way. But when they were talking about it, they said it was one of the, at that time, it really revolutionized, it revolutionized the business because it's something that we never seen before. I mean, because before that, Andre was 15 years undefeated, and has never been slammed by anybody, I don't think.
Right.
So, to me, that is why I was I just think that it deserves to be on this list because the build-up itself, especially when he got the little trophy and Hogan got the bigger trophy and everything, and when he turned on Hogan and then Bobby the Brain Heenan comes in and stirs the pot, it was just, it all fell into place.
Well, Bobby the Brain actually was already there.
Oh, yeah, no, but I'm saying like when he came in and made it,
What made this even better, all right, there's a couple of things. First thing, this happened on Piper's Pit. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing is Jesse the Body came out the week before this happened, and it's like Hogan or Andre's upset or, something in those lines. So then the next week, Jesse the Body comes back and brings out Bobby the Brain and Andre. And Jesse the Body was involved in this now. So you had Jesse the Body, you had Piper, you had all these big egos in this getting ready for this match.
Yeah.
And most importantly, it was the big Goliath versus David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
It's the first time you ever seen David versus Goliath in wrestling.
Yeah.
It was the first time you ever seen it.
What was the quote? The unstoppable force versus
The immovable object.
Yeah.
It's the first time you saw it, so it was real special.
Yeah.
The only problem with this, we didn't have a lot of matches before. We had Saturday Night's Main Event, and that was pretty much it. We didn't have many. We didn't have, and we had Sunday. We had Sunday's wrestling. Mm-hmm. Which was great, but we didn't have all the stuff we have now with the platforms.
And that's why I liked it because it was something we didn't get to see. We saw we saw a lot of promos, we saw a lot of build up to it, but we never got to see the match until WrestleMania.
You didn't see a lot of promo. You didn't see a lot of it because there wasn't a lot of platforms.
Yeah,
like today, social media and other things.
Yeah,
but where they could go back and forth. This was so far ahead of its time because nobody else was really doing this the way they were. NWA was doing stuff, but it was different.
Yeah.
Like the Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair breaking their arm, so it was different.
Yeah.
My number 2 was Hogan and Macho Man at WrestleMania 5.
Of course. Huh?
The reason this is number 2. One of the greatest matches at WrestleMania, one of the greatest rivalries of all time. And you had Miss Elizabeth involved in this. That's another whole dilemma there. It's the first time you add it. It's really the first time. And WrestleMania 1 has Cyndi Lauper. But this was really the first time that a female was in the middle of a storyline in wrestling. If you really think about it. Because WrestleMania 1, you didn't really, you had Richter, but it's not the same. Because, you have a manager actually involved in this storyline throughout wrestling. So it's the first time for that. But it's 2 of my favorites of all time. What's your number 1?
And she cheated on Savage with Hogan. We all know.
Oh, stop it.
Anyways. My number 1, I can't deny this one. Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 14. Reason that is the build up for me, you put Mike Tyson in the middle of this. You had DX was already formed, but they were making steam at this time, and they were going on. And then you put Stone Cold in it as well, and it all clicked together to me. And and I know I've watched the documentaries or everything. Even Stone Cold says he didn't like the match. He said it was good, but it wasn't a great match. But I thought everything putting it all together was great. You had the DX band at WrestleMania 14. You had all of this stuff that just clicked together. What did they have? They had a conference or a press conference in downtown.
It was in New York.
Yeah.
It was out. Actually, it was in Boston.
Yeah.
They had it in the Boston one was next year, but yeah, they had it downtown.
Yeah.
And and it was huge.
Yeah.
But it was the first. It ain't the first time that big of a celebrity, because they had Lawrence Taylor back in one of the WrestleManias. That was huge. But Tyson was the first world heavyweight champion, and Lawrence Taylor was huge as a sports figure, but Mike Tyson was even bigger. Mike Tyson was a bigger draw than Lawrence Taylor was, and so this went boxing and different areas. Lawrence Taylor got Bam Bam Bigelow, no disrespect, but Mike Tyson's involved with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Stone Cold. So that's a whole different story. And you get China, the ninth wonder of the world, that was involved into it.
Yeah.
So I can see why it's number one. It's not my number one, but I see what you're saying.
And he was on top at the time, too, right? Iron Mike. I mean, he was champion, undefeated.
No. He already lost.
He already lost?
But
okay.
Still, it wasn't too much long after this.
Oh.
It's not like it went that far now. It was before he went to jail.
Okay. Well, thank you.
WrestleMania, for me, number one, the best WrestleMania of all time. And there's a reason it was the best WrestleMania of all time. Because it had the best main event. It had the best two wrestlers of all time almost. And it was the best. It was the best build-up. That would be WrestleMania 17. That would be Stone Cold versus The Rock. This build-up was so great. This is the first time The Rock did the singing in the ring and, everything. Yeah, this was great.
How did I miss that? I knew it. You're number one because it's your favorite WrestleMania of all time.
Absolutely, it's the best WrestleMania ever.
How did I miss?
And the build-up is just absolutely great.
How did
but no, any of these you can't really go wrong with as far as the top five. Putting them in your top five. So I enjoyed that one. Some other ones I want to mention. Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orndorff. This was good. WrestleMania with Saturday Night Live. It was good. You talk about Mike Tyson. Mr. T at the time was huge. He was a huge star. This really got WrestleMania 1 up to par. Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior. WrestleMania 6. I don't love the face versus face guy, even though I did like the Austin and Rock face, but that's totally different to me. And this one, Ultimate Warrior wasn't great on the mic and stuff like that, so it didn't. That's the reason it's not in my top five. Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Mm-hmm. It was Bam Bam Bigelow though. I mean, it wasn't the headliner. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 12. The Iron Man match, the build up for that one. I'm surprised you didn't mention this one. But Shawn Michaels versus Jericho, WrestleMania 19. You didn't even mention.
I didn't like the build up. I did not like the build up because he was already in a storyline with Triple H at the time, and I felt I would have rather seen Triple H versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 19 than Jericho and Shawn Michaels, because I just felt like they parted a rivalry just for WrestleMania, and then the rivalry started again after WrestleMania. I didn't like that, and that's why I didn't put it on there.
Now I will tell you, and when we didn't mention that she gets some credit, Big Show and Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like Floyd Mayweather a lot, but the build up for that match was really great. You have, Floyd break the Big Show's nose, and Big Show being the giant. It was a great build-up for WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't all have to be main events to have a great build-up. Sometimes there's some really great ones. That's not the main event.
I still cannot believe till this day that he told Floyd Mayweather to break his nose. Like, he literally said, like, I mean, 'cause it's just, I mean, that's a lot of pain, a lot to go through.
Do we want to do next week the worst hype
No.
main events of all time? No.
No, Zack Ryder. I don't want to do no hype.
No. I'm just asking if you want to do the worst hype. Well, let's go over a couple of these while I got this up. WrestleMania 7, Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter, WWF Championship.
That was bad?
They got. I mean, I don't know if it was that. What the build-up wasn't. It was during the Gulf War, so it was a little bit difficult. Anytime you do a real personal subject during that time, and you do I didn't like it as much because it was Sergeant Slaughter being the heel, being the guy for Iran. I thought it would have been better if you just done Iron Sheik.
Yeah, why didn't they do it that way?
Because they weren't a turncoat that turned heel to do it. I don't, Sergeant Slaughter, it's kind of like it almost reminds me of WCW turning Hacksaw Jim Duggan to Team Canada in WCW.
Oh.
You remember that? It kind of makes no sense.
That was bad.
Here's another one. WrestleMania 13, Undertaker versus Psycho Sid. You won't talk about a bad, no build-up. That was bad.
But that also had to do with Shawn Michaels, with his back injury and everything, because he was supposed to go on to face The Undertaker, correct?
Right.
And it just didn't happen that way.
Another one I want to mention, WrestleMania 18, Edge versus Booker T. The program was spoiled by a bizarre notion of both men fighting over an advertisement for a fictional Japanese shampoo. You remember that? They were fighting over a shampoo advertisement?
Oh, yeah.
This was horrible.
Edge versus Booker T.
Wow,
Ooh.
Booker T's in 2 of these. That's great. WrestleMania 19, Triple H and Booker T. Booker T's title bout against heel Triple H suffered from lackluster booking of the challenger. Booker was repeatedly shown as an inferior threat to Hemsley's World Heavyweight title. So it was really bad build-up. Booker T was dealt with a bad hand, except for the Stone Cold when he first came to WWE.
I don't know, though.
The WrestleMania 21, the sumo match, Big Show versus Akibano. Oh my goodness!
Well, first off, who's Akibano? I never even heard of this guy until
Sumo
this match.
Japanese.
No, I mean, I never heard of him. I was a little mad about it.
One of the worst matches ever, and the build-up was horrible.
Yeah, we saw Big Show in a thong.
And I absolutely agree with this one. This was the worst WrestleMania main event of all time. And the build-up was even worse. I was there for this one, so it was even worse in person. WrestleMania 27, WWE Championship, John Cena versus The Miz. It was horrible. It was horrible. You had The Miz more worried about The Rock than you did John Cena.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
Should have been a three-way. I know it would have been stupid, but it should have been a three-way match. Because it was just, The Rock was more involved in that than either one of them, in my opinion. Like, he was the victor in that match. The Rock was the victor. And he was not even in the match.
It was pretty bad, though.
Yeah.
It was very bad. You got anything else?
Not really. The only other one that I would like to talk about for just one quick second, WrestleMania 8, with the whole Macho Man and Flair and Sid Justice and Hulk Hogan, because of what never happened, which I felt the build-up to both of those matches were horrible, because it's like they did it on the fly.
It should have been better.
Yeah.
The build-up was horrible. It was one-sided. And Macho Man was not... He wasn't the same Macho Man he was 2-3 years earlier. It was bad.
Yeah.
Ric Flair did the stuff with Elizabeth, and but we didn't see much from Macho Man.
Yeah, which made no sense.
this robbery.
But they get married.
Right. I didn't like the build up.
Yeah.
I didn't like the main event because it wasn't Macho Man versus Hogan, the same Macho Man that fought Hogan at WrestleMania 5.
It was a different. He was fed up at the time.
He was paranoid.
What do you mean
paranoid about Elizabeth? They were going through troubles, I think. And if you listen to actually Lanny Poffo, the genius, when he's talking about his brother, he'll tell you that during that time they were going through a lot of trouble, and it wasn't as It could have been a lot better. This could have been one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time, and it wasn't to me. So it could have been one of the best build-ups. Anyway, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, well, that's the end of today's show. But people on Periscope, stick around. We got another show coming up after this. Chat with us, WWA Show. Tell your friends. Come on, chat.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. And we'll be right back. Have a good day.
This ain't no home sweet home, it's a home sweet misery. We knew when we got here, they tried to put us away. But when they seen us walk down the street, they ran the other way. Back Street, Atlanta, PA. Back Street in the whole USA. Back Street, nasty and hot. The further the black you went, the better it got. Jump in, not to be about. Old lady McDuffie, she don't give the cops a call. She might as well call the Army or the United States Marines. Cause ain't nobody handle this